My family banned me from attending the family annual party, claiming I'll embarrass them in front of Elizabeth Brooks, the investor they had been chasing for years. They had no idea she'd been returning my calls for 6 months. My name is Lauren, and I am 27 years old. For most of my life, I was the overlooked child in a family that ran Morrison Enterprises, a real estate development company my grandfather founded 40 years ago. My older brother Tyler is 30 and serves as VP of Operations, though his main qualification seems to be sharing our last name. He makes mediocre decisions that our mother Patricia praises as genius. My father Richard mostly stays silent, nodding along with whatever Patricia decides. 3 years ago, I worked at Morrison Enterprises as a junior analyst. I loved the work, but I hated the culture. The company operated on outdated models, cut corners on sustainability, and dismissed any suggestion for innovation as unnecessary risk. When I presented a proposal for sustainable building practices that could save money and attract younger clients, Patricia shut me down in front of the entire board. "This is a family business built on tradition," she said, "not trendy experiments." 6 months later, she told me I didn't fit the company culture and offered me a severance package to leave quietly. I took it. What my family doesn't know is that I used that severance to start my own company, Verde Solutions, a sustainable real estate tech startup, co-founded with my best friend Sophia. For 2 years, we've been building something revolutionary while my family assumed I was struggling to find my footing. They also don't know that I've been in talks with Elizabeth Brooks for the past 6 months. Elizabeth Brooks is a legendary investor known for backing innovative, sustainable businesses. She's selective, brilliant, and has turned down Morrison Enterprises twice in the past 2 years. My family has been desperately trying to land her as an investor, seeing her backing as the ultimate validation. Meanwhile, Elizabeth has been taking my calls, reviewing my business plans, visiting my office, and meeting my team. We were close to finalizing a deal. The week before Christmas, my family's annual party became their obsession. Morrison Enterprises hosts a big end-of-year event every December 26th. Clients, vendors, press, everyone who matters in our industry. It's half networking, half showing off. This year, they had finally convinced Elizabeth to attend. Tyler wouldn't stop bragging about it in the family group chat. Christmas Eve arrived. I drove to my parents' house for our traditional dinner, bringing gifts I had carefully selected for everyone. The atmosphere was tense the moment I walked in. Patricia and Tyler were in the study, surrounded by party planning documents. Richard sat in his usual chair, reading the newspaper, barely acknowledging my arrival. During dinner, Patricia made an announcement. "I have exciting news. Elizabeth Brooks has confirmed her attendance at our party on the 26th. This could be the partnership that takes Morrison Enterprises to the next level." Tyler raised his glass. "After months of effort, we finally got her to commit. This is huge for us." I stayed quiet, cutting my food slowly. I knew exactly why Elizabeth had agreed to attend. She wanted to see the company that kept cold calling her after she had politely declined their proposals twice. It was a courtesy visit, nothing more. After dinner, Patricia pulled me aside into the hallway. Tyler followed. "Lauren, we need to discuss something about tomorrow." I set down the plate I was carrying. "What about tomorrow?" "About Christmas tomorrow and the party on the 26th. Patricia's voice was measured, careful. "You don't need to come." The words hit me like cold water. "What?" "It's Christmas, and the party is our family tradition. The party is too important this year." Patricia cut me off. "Elizabeth Brooks is our special guest. We can't afford any complications." Tyler crossed his arms. "Mom's right. You're not part of the business anymore. Your presence would just confuse things. Plus, honestly, you'd probably say something inappropriate and blow the whole deal." I stared at them, unable to process what I was hearing. Patricia nodded. "We don't want a loser like you to embarrass us and hinder our chance at landing this deal. Elizabeth is coming to see a successful, united family business. You don't fit that image anymore." My father appeared in the doorway behind them. He met my eyes for a brief second, then looked away. Said nothing. just stood there silently while his wife and son uninvited me from Christmas. "This isn't a discussion," Patricia continued. "Don't come to Christmas tomorrow. Don't come to the party. We'll tell people you're traveling for work or something." I opened my mouth to argue, then closed it. What was the point? They had already decided I was worthless. I grabbed my coat and walked out the door without another word. That night, alone in my apartment on Christmas Eve, I sat in the dark for a long time. Then I picked up my phone and made a call. "Elizabeth, it's Lauren Morrison. I know we were supposed to finalize things next week, but I need to ask you something. Did you confirm attendance at Morrison Enterprises' party on the 26th? I listened to her response, my jaw tightening. "You did. Listen, there's something you need to know about that family." I explained everything. The exclusion, the loser comment, how they had no idea we had been working together. "I have a proposal," I said. "What if we accelerate our timeline? Sign the deal for Verde Solutions before their party happens. I can have contracts ready by tomorrow. Christmas Day." Elizabeth agreed immediately. More than agreed, she was enthusiastic. My second call was to Sophia. "Change of plans. We're signing with Elizabeth on the 26th. Morning meeting. And Soph, remember that luxury yacht we looked at for a future celebration? Book it for the 26th afternoon. We're doing this right." I opened my laptop and drafted an Instagram post. Professional photos of the contract signing we would do, a caption announcing our partnership with Elizabeth Brooks. I scheduled it to post on December 26th at exactly 3:00 p.m., the exact time Elizabeth was supposed to arrive at the Morrison Enterprises party. Christmas Day, I worked alone in my apartment, finalizing contract details with my lawyer. My phone showed the family group chat was exploding with activity. Party preparations, last-minute vendor confirmations, excitement about Elizabeth. Tyler posted to Instagram, "About to close the biggest deal in Morrison history." Patricia commented, "So proud of our family business." I didn't respond. Just watched them celebrate something that would never happen. I looked at my scheduled Instagram post. The yacht reservation confirmation. The contract that would be signed in less than 24 hours. They wanted me gone to avoid embarrassment. In 24 hours, they would understand what embarrassment really meant. I woke up on December 26th to more family group chat messages. Patricia had sent a detailed timeline for the party. Tyler posted a photo of himself in his suit with the caption, "Ready to make history." No one had mentioned my absence. Not one person asked where I was on Christmas. It was like I had never existed. At 10:00 a.m., I met Elizabeth and Sophia at a private lawyer's office downtown. The contracts were pristine, reviewed 3 times. Elizabeth signed first, then me. $3.22 million in funding for Verde Solutions. Elizabeth smiled as we shook hands for the photographer. "Your family has no idea what they let walk away, do they?" "They're about to find out," I said. We took several professional photos, me and Elizabeth holding the signed contracts, all 3 of us celebrating. Sophia helped me select the best ones and craft the Instagram post. The caption read, "Thrilled to announce Verde Solutions has secured $3.2 million in funding from Elizabeth Brooks. Here's to building the future of sustainable real estate. Thank you, Elizabeth, for believing in innovation and integrity. Got our new beginnings. Kash sustainable real estate has Kash startup life." Scheduled for 3:00 p.m., exactly when Elizabeth was supposed to arrive at Morrison Enterprises. At 2:30 p.m., Sophia and I boarded the rented luxury yacht. It was beautiful. White leather, full catering, a photographer to document our celebration. We popped champagne as the boat pulled away from the dock. My phone was on silent, face down on the table. I refused to look at it. At 3:00 p.m. exactly, Sophia checked her own phone and grinned. "Your post just went live." I still didn't check mine. I wanted this moment to be pure celebration, untainted by whatever chaos was unfolding at my family's party. We stayed on the yacht for hours, watching the sunset, eating incredible food, toasting our success. My phone stayed face down the entire time. At 4:00 p.m., curiosity finally won. I flipped my phone over. 47 missed calls. The number kept climbing as I watched. 48, 49. Tyler, 15 calls. Patricia, 19 calls. Even Richard had called 8 times, the first time he had tried to reach me in years. The family group chat showed 127 unread messages. I scrolled through them, watching the progression from confusion to panic to rage. Tyler, 3:15 p.m. Where is Elizabeth? Patricia, 3:22 p.m. Has anyone heard from Elizabeth Brooks? Tyler, 3:35 p.m. Someone just showed me Lauren's Instagram. What the hell? Patricia, 3:41 p.m. Lauren, call me immediately. Tyler, 3:44 p.m. Lauren, where are you? Patricia, 3:50 p.m. This is not funny. Call me now. Then the messages got nasty. Tyler, 4:03 p.m. You sabotaged us. You're dead to this family. Patricia, 4:15 p.m. You've destroyed everything we built. How could you do this? Tyler, 4:27 p.m. Everyone at the party saw your post. Do you have any idea what you've done? My private messages were worse. Tyler's direct messages escalated from questions to accusations to pure rage. You selfish bitch. You sabotaged us. You're not even part of this company anymore. How dare you steal our investor? I had 7 voicemails. I listened to one from Tyler, his voice shaking with anger. You planned this. You knew Elizabeth was coming to our party, and you deliberately signed with her the same day to humiliate us. This is unforgivable. You're not our family anymore. I deleted it without listening to the others. Sophia watched me, concerned. Are you okay? I'm perfect, I said honestly, and took another sip of champagne. At 5 p.m., a new text came through from my father. The first direct text he had sent me in 2 years. We're coming to your apartment. You owe us an explanation. Then Patricia. We know where you live. We'll be there in 20 minutes. You will fix this. Sophia looked at me. Are you going to respond? I took another sip of champagne and watched the sun set over the water. The yacht rocked gently beneath us. I felt completely at peace. Another text arrived, this one with a photo attached. My family, all 3 of them, standing outside my apartment building. They looked furious. Tyler's text. We're here. Come down now, or we're calling the building manager. I took a screenshot of their messages and posted it to my Instagram story with one caption, celebrating. Then I turned my phone off completely. They can wait, I told Sophia. We're not done celebrating yet. We stayed on that yacht until midnight, long after my family had given up and left my building. When we finally docked, I felt lighter than I had in years. They had excluded me to avoid embarrassment. Instead, they created their own. I didn't respond that night. I stayed on the yacht until midnight, celebrating with Sophia and our team. The next morning, I went home to find my parents and Tyler waiting in my building's lobby. The manager looked uncomfortable, but they had clearly worn him down into letting them wait. The moment I walked through the door, my mother started screaming. You stole our investor. You sabotaged our company. How dare you do this to your own family? Tyler stepped forward, his face red with rage. Elizabeth Brooks was our contact. You had no right. Stop. My voice was calm, which seemed to infuriate them more. Elizabeth was never your contact. She's been taking my calls for 6 months. She's been reviewing my business plan, visiting my office, meeting my team. You got one meeting with her assistant 8 months ago and thought you had a relationship. My father finally spoke, his voice tight. You deliberately kept this from us. You knew we were pursuing her. And you deliberately excluded me from Christmas. From our family tradition. Because I was a loser who would embarrass you. I looked directly at my mother. Those were your exact words, Mom. We don't want a loser like you to embarrass us. Patricia's face went completely white. Around us, several neighbors had stopped in the lobby to watch the scene unfold. You chose to cut me out of the family. Elizabeth chose to invest in my company. Those are 2 separate decisions that you both made possible. Tyler tried to grab my arm. You're going to call Elizabeth right now and tell her you made a mistake. I pulled away sharply. I'm not doing anything. And if you touch me again, I'll call the police. The building security guard finally intervened, escorting my family toward the exit. They went reluctantly, still shouting threats and accusations. The aftermath unfolded over the next week through social media and industry news. I watched it all from a distance, learning everything through my LinkedIn feed and texts from former Morrison Enterprises employees who had always been kind to me. The party had been a complete disaster. Multiple guests had seen my Instagram post in real time and started whispering. By the time Patricia announced that Elizabeth couldn't make it due to an emergency, everyone knew the truth. Several major clients started asking uncomfortable questions about why the founder's daughter wasn't involved in the family business anymore. Word spread quickly through the industry. Tyler posted, then hastily deleted, an angry rant about family betrayal and backstabbing. Too late. Dozens of people had screenshot it and shared it. Business publications picked up the story within days. Morrison Enterprises loses Brooks' investment to founder's daughter's startup. The article detailed the family rift and questioned Morrison's leadership culture. The PR damage was immediate and severe. 3 major clients pulled their contracts, citing concerns about company culture and family dynamics. 2 key employees quit, one of them posting on LinkedIn about finally escaping a toxic family environment. My phone kept ringing for days. I finally sent one group text to my family. I started my own company because you pushed me out. I succeeded because I worked harder than any of you ever did. Elizabeth invested in me because my business is better than yours. You excluded me because you were ashamed of me. Now you're excluded because I'm done with all of you. I blocked all their numbers immediately after sending it. Verde Solutions launched our first major project in March. Elizabeth became not just an investor, but a genuine mentor. She introduced me to her entire network, opened doors I had only dreamed about walking through. Sophia and I hired our 10th employee by April. We were featured in Forbes' 30 Under 30 list in May. Elizabeth sent a congratulatory bottle of champagne with a note, "I always invest in the right people." I spent holidays with Sophia's family now, with the friends I had made in my industry, with people who valued me before I had money or success or prestigious investors. My father sent a letter in April. I recognized his handwriting on the envelope. I returned it unopened, marked, "Return to sender." Some doors, once closed, should stay that way. Sometimes I think about that Christmas Eve, standing in my parents' hallway while my mother told me not to come to Christmas because I would embarrass them. Then I think about their faces in my apartment lobby when they realized I had never needed them at all. I don't feel guilty. I feel free. Thanks for listening to the end. If you have ever been excluded by family who underestimated you and then wanted back in when you succeeded, remember this. People who cut you out during the struggle don't deserve access during the success. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about building your own path and thriving without toxic family approval.